Mga kaigalan, I am with Sushi. She is the set designer of the Cebu staging of Bring It On. Mayong adlaw ni mo diya, Sushi.
Hi, good afternoon.
Of course, this Bring It On Cebu staging is actually produced by Golden Suns Theater, right?
Yes, it's produced by Golden Sun Performing Arts Center.
And you are the stage designer. Can you give us a little bit of a background? Unsa maning Bring It On? I know a lot of people have probably seen the movie, right?
Yeah.
It's a movie about cheerleading, but this is being sort of reinvented by the famous Lin Manuel Miranda. Tell us about it. Unsa man ni si Bring It On, and how is Lin Manuel Miranda part of this musical?
Yes, so Bring It On the musical, it is a staged version of the original movie back in 2000s. However, it's not the same story, it's just the same concept about cheerleading. For this case, the musical tackles about friendship, about unity, about when you're put down, how do you go about that? It's about grit. It's about, despite all the struggles, you choose to go beyond that and to see the beauty in the situation you're in. And yeah, with Lin-Manuel Miranda, he is one of the writers, one of the people who created the music and one of the people who wrote the lyrics for this show, which is the reason why it's very reminiscent of In the Heights and Hamilton, actually.
So this was before he got so famous with Hamilton, right?
Yes, so this was after In the Heights and before Hamilton. Yeah, so there are a lot of beats and music and sounds from his style. Yeah.
You are the set designer of this Cebu staging of Bring It On. Tell me about the set design of Bring It On.
This year, it's absolutely more meticulous and more ambitious, I would say. There are a lot of mobile sets that we have to construct, we have to set, and specifically for this musical, there are tons and tons of set changes. So there are a lot of considerations to think about. So for this one, yeah, I'm excited and looking forward to how it will look like finally.
Tell me about the choice of the venue. I'm actually here at the STC Senior Marie Adolphine Vam Hoy's ICM Auditorium, right?
Yes.
That's a mouthful.
Yes.
Tell me about the choice of venue.
So we chose this venue because this was the very first venue we had when we debuted our production last year, which was In the Heights. And you know, everyone had, the faculty, the admin of STC, they've always been so accommodating with us. You know, when everyone didn't really believe in us, you know, they were there in the first place to say, okay, let's make this partnership, let's work together. And now we're here for a second year to work with them and continue our advocacy in performing arts, and in return, helping their students be exposed to performing arts and what we produce.
You know, stage plays are, very famous all over the world, right? In Broadway and in, what do you call that in Britain? West End, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious, like with all of with all of the other distractions that we are exposed to, right? Like all of these movie platforms like Netflix and Amazon, and all of these distractions, all of this content that we can consume on social media, on YouTube, on Facebook, and in theaters, in actual movie theaters. There's also movies going to be are being shown, right? And they're actually also having a kind of a crisis of sorts, right? Because of the movie platforms, like I mentioned earlier.
Streaming.
I'm curious, like streaming platforms, like I said, the Netflix. I'm curious, like how does a stage musical attract an audience when in fact our audience, especially the younger ones, are so distracted by all of these entertainment content that they can readily and easily consume using their cell phones.
Right. It's a common occurrence, especially in live performances, specifically with theatrical performances, where it is always better live. Because when you go and record performances, it's very different. When you are in the theater, when you're sat looking at the theater, hearing the sound system, hearing the band, hearing the actors, seeing them perform their raw performances live, it's very different because you get to witness it right then and there. You get to hear it for how it really is, compared to if you film it, and you look at it at your home, you stream it at home. It's completely different. The weight of the performers, the emotion that they bring, I would say it's really diminished when it's filmed. So I would say live performances, theatrical performances such as Bring It On, I really think that this can make audiences realize how important going back to the theater is, especially seeing professional actors or actors who harness their talents, who do above and beyond so that every single night they perform, they are above their game and they give the absolute best for every single performance and show.
So you feel like watching a stage play, like Bring It On, it's going to be a feast for the senses.
Yes.
Better than watching a movie in a cinema or watching a Netflix movie on your LED screen, right? Being able to see the performers performing live right in front of your very eyes is totally and completely different. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's totally different. Film and theater, they are completely different mediums of entertainment. While live theater, it's a different form of expressing yourself. You get to see the magic of theater, how they put stories on stage. So yeah, it's very different.
2025 has been a very exciting and I would say different year for most of us, right? With all of it, all of these things that have been going on, right? All of these natural calamities, disasters, and government and politics and all of that stuff. It's a whole list of exciting things that are happening to us, right? My question is, tell me about the relevance of Bring It On. Why did you choose to bring It On to Cebu?
I think the relevance of Bring It On is very important to teenagers and growing adults. Especially, remember we went through the pandemic, so for a while you have this generation stuck in their homes, only exposed to their families, and when they're pushed to the new normal, they have to socialize with people, and it's so different socializing. So, this musical really shows consequences. What happens when you decide to betray your friends? What happens when you decide to prioritize yourself among others? So I believe this musical can teach people the importance of empathy, considering others, the importance of strengthening yourself during hard times, especially when you fail at certain things and it really hits you bad. This musical shows that quitting isn't an option. In fact, reinventing yourself and pushing beyond that is the best option for you if you want to continue with your dreams. Yeah.
You mentioned that your first staging, the Sun, what do you call it again? Sun Gold, your company?
Golden Sun Performing Arts.
Golden Sun Performing Arts. You first had your first ever staging of In the Heights, right?
Yes, last year.
And it must have been a success because you're doing it again, right?
Yes.
Tell me about it. Tell me about the success of In the Heights and why you decided to do another stage play.
Oh man, that was our debut production, and no one knew who Golden Sun was. I mean, right now I think they're still starting to know us. And it was high pressure last year because I was also performing while being the set designer for this. So a lot of pressure on my part with delivering the sets. But with In the Heights, it was very relevant to Filipino audiences, even if the story was about a Latino community, because we have a lot of similarities. Filipinos and Latinos, they have a lot of similarities with culture, with having a barrio, with sharing the same food, the same culture with family. And we brought In the Heights here in Cebu because we believed that aside from the similarities of culture, we believe that the talent that we required for In the Heights was here. And it just needed a push. It just needed exposure for audiences in Cebu. And based on how successful, thank God, last year was, we're here again to bring another production who's also done by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
You know what? We were interviewing somebody, Jude Gitamundok to be exact, and a bunch of stage play actors also a few days ago. In fact, we were watching the what did you call that? Like sort of like the sneak peek, right? What is the name of the play again, Ralph? The hookup, the
Right,
hookup,
right.
right? So and now this play, right? Bring it on.
Yes.
So there must be something going on in the world of performing arts, right? Tell me about it. Is there something that we don't know about? Like, is there an industry that's about to emerge, a sort of like a comeback of the performing arts industry, performing arts scene here in Cebu? Tell me what's going on.
Yes, there's definitely an industry that's growing. I mean, the industry was climbing before the pandemic, but it halted for a really long while. But yeah, it's coming back. We have a lot of companies here in Cebu, and we actually they've started to gather together to form a certain group, which I'm not sure if I can share yet. But yeah, there is an industry, and we are starting to unite theater in Cebu so that we can grow together and heighten the performing arts scene in Cebu.
And of course, your company, Golden Sun Performing Arts
Center, yeah.
Center. There's also a few others, right?
Yes.
One of the things that I've noticed when it comes to artists, especially when it comes to performing arts like singing, is that we're a very tribal, right? I can't help but want to bring this up because I think I've noticed that with our music industry here in Cebu. Murag mag kampo-kampo ba?
Yes.
I'm curious ba, is it the same also with performing arts? Meaning stage performances, like stage plays, right? Is it also similar? Nga medyo, we're also kind of campy. Or is there more cooperation amongst other groups of performing artists?
You know what? We are a really small industry. It's still growing. In fact, I think we are, in a sense, united because, you have different groups, right? But there will come a time where certain groups will have to merge together to work together, and certain actors will go from group to group because certain plays and productions require those kind of actors. Yeah, we are really interconnected. That's the term I was trying to say. We are really interconnected because we have Sir Rudy Aviles, who is essentially the head of everything, and then we have groups and certain organizations. So yeah, I believe our industry is interconnected in a sense. I don't like to say that it's tribal or nagkampo-kampo me because at the end of the day we're Cebuano, and at the end of the day our goal here is to grow performing arts because it's a common experience. We are not necessarily supported by the general public or by anyone really, because when you say I want to be an actor, I want to perform, I want to sing, I want to dance, moingon ang ginikanan, may kwarta diha, right? So yeah, with that going on, it's important for us to be as solid as possible.
You're the set designer of Bring It On, the Cebu staging of Lin-Manuel Miranda's Bring It On, and you're not only the stage designer, you're actually also invested on it because you're also still in college, right?
Yes.
And what is your course again? It is related to stage designing, right?
Yes, I am currently a third-year student of Bachelor of Science in Interior Design from the University of San Carlos.
Okay, so you're obviously invested. You're betting on a stage plays to be a thing in the future,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Tell me about the bet that you're making.
I'm sorry, may I clarify, like what bet?
Tell me about it. You're investing because going to school is in an investment, right? Of time, of course, your parents' finances and all of that stuff, right? So tell me about the confidence that you have in the stage play industry
Industry, right.
that is about to boom here in Cebu, God willing.
Yes. Well, I have confidence in it. I mean, every year, groups and organizations, they all have plans for it. My hopes is, all the actors, all the crew, stage crew, and everyone else invested in this. My hope is they get to work as a living doing this. You know, it's not just a hobby, it's not just a sideline and then they're doing something else. You know, I want it to be done professionally, and you know, that's a dream to achieve through, you know, investing myself in this business, and hopefully one day putting up a company, a professional company that can do this every year.
You know, daghang kay tag mga kailang we lose abroad, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's so many great directors and other actors, perhaps, or even set designers that we've lost. Not for anything, but we've lost them because they've gone abroad for greener pastures, right? So do you feel like time will come when perhaps we don't have to go abroad to make a living off of performing arts?
Yes, that's the dream. That's definitely the dream. You know, when I started theater when I was 14, you know, we all have the dream to be in Broadway, to be in West End. But as I started to invest myself in this business, in Golden Sun Performing Arts Center, you know, I started to see that I don't have to go international to do what I love and to grow performing arts. You know, I see that Cebu it's a small island, but it's an island that can definitely handle big productions. And that's the dream, to hold productions here, to hold companies here that can sustain performers, stage crew, and all personnel that is required in the performing arts industry.
You mentioned that you brought the staging of In the Heights and now Bring It On. Obviously, these are Lin-Manuel Miranda's staging or shows, right? I'm curious, how about original local stuff? Is that in the pipeline?
Yes, definitely. I mean, us bringing in international musicals, it's essentially us training ourselves because again, we're very new. Golden Sun is very new, and through this, we get to learn like how to run it, what does a musical sound like, what is it about, and eventually, you know, tapping talents and artists who can create original musicals. Definitely, that's under our radar in future when we can ensure that the material we use, the music we use, is up to standard, up to par.
What is the biggest challenge in holding stage musicals such as Bring It On?
Well, there are a lot, but I guess the very thing that stands out among the crowd is having to handle the stakes of it all. I mean, Cebu, it's still growing, it's still warming up to the idea of performing arts. So definitely there are stakes to whether it's going to hold, whether it's going to hold water, whether it's going to be a success, performance-wise and sales-wise. But yeah, I mean, it's all worth it at the end.
So you're saying there are two metrics, of course, of success, critically and financially, right?
Yeah.
Box office, right? So obviously, In the Heights was a success critically,
Yes.
and I guess also financially,
Yes.
right? So you want to be able to replicate this one also with Bring It On, even perhaps more so.
Yeah. Replicate, or better yet, better than last year. I mean, that was our first run. There were obviously rooms for improvement. You know, I'm hoping for this year it's a way better than best.
Today is still Monday, di ba?
Yeah.
At least as of this shooting. But your stage play, Bring It On, the Lin Miranda, Bring It On, is when?
It's going to be on November 28th and 29th.
So that's still a long ways to go, right?
Is it long?
How many days to go?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, right? So you're actually here already in the venue, preparing for the performance, right? So it must be a very elaborate set.
It's quite meticulous. It's quite meticulous.
Okay.
Yeah. It's something that you need huge groups of people to make it a success.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
So everybody, I'm sure, is intrigued by just the sheer amount of time
Yeah.
that is required
Yes.
to put together the set of Bring It On here in Cebu. Why don't you invite them to perhaps get tickets for the show, and perhaps if they want, they can watch a kind of trailer or a teaser to give them an idea what to expect and all of that stuff. What should they do if they want if they're intrigued by the idea of watching the Lin Miranda, Manuel Miranda staging of Bring It On here in Cebu?
Okay, well, I'm inviting you all to watch Bring It On Cebu 2025 this November 28 and 29, 7 p.m. at the St. Teresa's College of Cebu Auditorium. If you want to buy tickets, you can go check our Facebook page. It is Golden Sun Performing Arts Center. You can see all ticket details needed. And yeah, we have trailers released as well, if they're interested.
So there are trailers in your social media accounts.
Yes. Yes.
Which are?
So we have one, which is part one actually. So we shot in the Cebu complex in Abiliana. Yeah, we shot there. And it was essentially us featuring the Truman High School girls, who they are, the superhuman girls. Yeah.
So what social media accounts can they watch the trailer of Bring It On?
Right. We have Facebook, again, it's Golden Sun Performing Arts Center, and we have Instagram, which is at g.s.p.a.c.
You should share it to me.
Yes.
Right? Daddy, you should share it to us.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, I'm not going to keep you because I know you have a set to set up.
Yeah.
Good luck to you, Sushi, and I hope this is twice as successful as the very successful In the Heights last year.
Yes.
And I hope people will show their full support because I'm sure the live performance stage performances like Bring It On is a very exciting field, and I hope that the Cebuanos, not just the Cebuanos, but people in Cebu, maybe even from the neighboring islands who want to watch real good stage performances, I think this is your time. November 28 and 29
Yes.
here at the STC Auditorium. Bring It On, the Lin Manuel Miranda musical in Cebu.
Yes.
Thank you, Sushi.
Thank you so much, Tito.
Thank you.
Thank you.